Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I am going to be doing the part 3 and part 4 of the story time video for my ex-wife and I took our kids to get photos with Santa. That was a mistake. I really hope you guys are enjoying these type of videos. I would love your feedback down in the comments below. Whether you like them, whether you don't like them, I would love any kind of feedback you guys can give me. I'm hoping to continue doing stories like this for you guys because I really enjoy doing them, and I've gotten relatively good feedback so far on it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's get on with the story time. Okay guys, so a little disclaimer before I start the video. I know I always say this, but these are not my stories. These are stories that were posted to redditnosleep.com. The author's name is Colorblindness, an amazing author, and I don't take credit for any of this story. This is all that author's story. I will make sure that I'm linking their page in my description box below. Please take the time to go over and check them out and hit their stories with some likes. Part 3. My ex-wife and I took our kids for pictures with Santa. Things have gone downhill ever since. Dear parents, you didn't watch out. I didn't play nice. Your children are mine because I'm naughty, not nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. We phoned the police immediately, but it made little difference. There wasn't a single print on the note or even a trace of DNA. Even though Carly and I knew the truth about the mall, Santa, all the cops could do was file that we had a domestic disturbance and call it a night. It left us both frustrated and unable to sleep the entire night. That jolly old elf was taunting us. We need to take this into our own hands, my ex told me decisively as she downed a bottle of vodka. I didn't like when she drank because it brought back both happy and bitter memories. What do you mean? I asked, glad that at least for the moment we are agreeing to work together through this tragedy. The mall closes at 9, right? So let's get in there like 10 minutes before it closes and lay low. They don't have the security to really canvass the entire place, so we can roam around freely, probably before the end of the hour, she reasoned. That's a horrible idea. First off, we don't even know if Santa's workshop will be there during the night, and secondly, they have round-the-clock surveillance. We could go to jail for that, I told her. You don't think we should do whatever is necessary to get our kids back? Carly snapped bitterly. This was a side of her that I was waiting to come out. We both had our issues, of course. I'm not saying I'm perfect. But I hated how she twisted my intentions more than anything else. Of course I do. But we can't think this is a cakewalk. Whatever took them clearly has power beyond what we can understand. And that alone should make us stop and think. We don't want to risk losing them altogether, I told her. Carly calmed down and visibly nodded before tossing the bottle down and weakly sighing. I just keep replaying those words my dad told me last Christmas. You aren't fit to be a parent. You don't even honor God. So why would you think he would honor your relationship? Ha, guess he was right, huh? No, don't think like that. We are the best parents we can be. Don't fool yourself, Allie. We couldn't even last a fucking year, she snapped bitterly. I held my tongue knowing that she was lashing out from frustration. I was feeling it too. We had fought hard to even be a couple in the first place. Then getting the girls had been another uphill battle. Now everything was upside down and it felt like it was all our fault. Do you think things would have been different if we had made it work? I asked sheepishly. I was willing to admit that I had my faults. There were many times where I had not put my family first. I don't know anymore, she admitted in defeat as she reached towards me for comfort. My first reaction was to pull away, but then I thought better of it. Now more than ever, we needed to come together. Maybe it wouldn't heal our broken relationship, but we couldn't just give up. Carly kept near to me as the night wore on, and eventually exhaustion overcame her. But I couldn't sleep. My mind constantly thought of whatever nightmare that our girls were experiencing at the hand of this malicious creature, and I kept considering her crazy scheme. It was nearly closing time for Eastwood. If I left then, I knew I could make it. I didn't give myself the time to second guess anything. Once I was sure that Carly was out of it, I grabbed her keys and ran to the garage. I made it to the mall in less than 20 minutes. There were hardly any cars in the parking lot when I arrived. Only a few late owls jotted the blank halls as I made my way towards the Santa's workshop. I did my best to look inconspicuous. There were a few security guards around, but none of them looked like they were paying me any mind. As soon as I caught sight of Santa, though, I felt a knot build inside my stomach. I knew that only a day earlier, we had been shown that this was a harmless old man. But something was unsettling about all of this, and this was my chance to make things work. An announcement came over the intercom telling everyone that the mall was closing in only 5 minutes. As the guards started to busy themselves searching for stragglers, I started towards the side of the mall I knew was under renovation. Once past the safety tape, I tried to remind myself how long this part of the building had been closed. It seemed like years, but it would be the perfect hiding spot while the mall shut down. As I ducked into a bathroom and listened to the announcement again, I took a few moments to steel myself. Any amount of things could go wrong. I had no clue how much security Eastwood had at night. Once 20 more minutes had passed, I pushed the dreary bathroom door open and found myself walking into a ghost town. I'm not sure why, but the empty mall gave off this eerie vibe. Perhaps it was because I knew of the evil near its center. Or maybe it had to do with how the once busting shops looked like coffins now, memories of life forgotten. Once out of the construction zone, I hugged the wall. I was trying to spot any and all cameras that might see me, but it seemed they were all shut off for the moment. Finally, I was at the workshop again. The quiet throne where the costume claws had been seated seemed ominous and foreboding as I stepped through the rickety white gate. A quick search allowed me entrance to the back part of the workshop, where I saw Santa's costume, along with inflatable dolls they used to lure in customers. But nothing was getting me any closer to Thea and LaDawn. I kept looking, though, refusing to give up. If I had exhausted all options, I didn't really care about going to jail. If my girls were safe, that was all that mattered. I went back to the main auditorium and turned over every reindeer statue and candy cane plush. Nothing. I felt so defeated, I slumped into Santa's chair and tried to calm my nerves. Get a hold of yourself, Allison. You can do this. That was when I felt the chair move. I grabbed the armrest and looked down at the floor, surprised to see that it was changing too. Suddenly, I found myself at the top of a set of winding stairs. I followed it to the bottom, listening to what sounded like warped Christmas music. Amid the darkness, I saw ornaments and lights to guide my way deeper. It felt like I was going straight into the mouth of the underworld, and before long, I was in a different type of workshop. This one was a dark reflection of the world above. The chains and gears telling me that all sorts of vile acts went on here, yet it was too devoid of life. I slowly crept forward, the music growing louder as I reached what appeared to be a toy room. Massive machines being run by unseen forces moved giant crates across. There was noise everywhere. I stumbled through, reaching a room labeled dolls. Then, in the dim light, I saw my eldest eyes, but they were too empty, replaced by porcelain replicas. Thea and LaDawn were before me, as nothing more than mere mannequins, and alongside them, countless other small childlike dolls. I held my hand over my mouth to muffle a scream. How would I ever tell Carly our precious daughters weren't coming home for the holidays? Part 4. My ex-wife and I took our kids for pictures with Santa. This is what we found. I wake confused. A puddle of vomit is on the pillow at the corner of my mouth. My eyes glanced around the apartment for the clock. 10:48 p.m. Allison's gone. So much for sticking it out. You know what? I'm not even going to call her and ask why she left. Well, fuck. If she's not here, then why shouldn't I go to that mall? She was the only thing stopping me. Well, that and my blood alcohol limit, which should be drastically reduced by now. The keys are tightly held in my closed fist, sharpened points sticking out through my knuckles. A lot of creeps live in this neighborhood, and Alice and I had dealt with vandalism and harassment before. My whole body jumps when the car starts up. The image of that dagger jutting out of our front door flashes through my mind, sending shudders up my spine. My gas pedal sticks, and I'm too annoyed to see something wedged underneath it. Fresh tears erupt from my red-rimmed eyes as I reach down and dislodge it. It's an Elsa toy. One of the Happy Meal toys the girls got last weekend. That settles it. As far as I'm concerned, whether I'm living or dead afterwards, our girls will be coming home. A renewed maternal instinct drives the rest of the alcohol from my system. By the time I reach the mall entrance, I'm completely sober. I pull into the side entrance, planning to sneak in. The parking lot is eerily empty and still. I've never been here this late at night before. It feels desolate and does a good job of dispelling my confidence. Intrusive thoughts scream that I may never get them back. Never get Allison back. I'll be destined to die alone. My phone doesn't seem that important anymore. Work keeps calling, but I don't have the time or the heart to answer. Each click of my heels echoes through the cavernous lot as I walk up to the mall. There's a loading area that trucks use to deliver supplies to all the stores that most regular customers aren't aware of. A girl I used to fool around with right after Alice and I broke up told me about it. She used to be the Cinnabon manager. She also said that one of the main problems the mall had was that they forgot to lock it. Luckily, it was, as I said before, not very well known and hidden from the outside. The part that it connected to on the inside had been closed for renovations for what has seemed like forever, so hopefully no one locked it tonight. My muscles sag with relief once I feel the doorknob turn all the way and the click of the plunger release. I open the door as slowly and steadily as I can, not wanting to draw any attention where it's not needed. The cool musk of Sbarro's pizza and nacho cheese wafts over my face as I walk inside. They've been closed for a good while at this point, and I'm nowhere near the food court. I desperately hope they aren't having an after-hours company Christmas party. It's silent. The only thing I can hear are my shoes. Each step screams through the empty acoustics of the construction area. It seems as if they've frozen things midway, as if everyone stopped what they were doing one day and left. Dust has settled onto the ladders and drop cloths. Who knows how long it's been like this? Santa's chair looms in front of me like a purple velveted monster. It seems to get larger every time I approach it. It's sitting off kilter, cockeyed on its platform. Apprehension weighs heavy on my chest like lead as I walk closer. There are small holes in the floor around it with what looks like stairs underneath. My shoulders burn as I put all my weight into moving the chair. Confusion and intrigue mix inside of me, curdling in my stomach. Whatever is down there can't be good. Someone put a lot of effort into keeping these stairs and what they led to hidden. I just know that at some point my girls were here. Maybe they went down there and got lost. In my heart of hearts, though, I knew that if they were in fact down there, it wasn't by choice. It's lit by Christmas lights, but only the red ones worked. They're blinking, like a little runway to the area below. Demented Christmas music is blaring on what had to be a broken speaker. When I reach the bottom, I cannot believe my eyes. It looks like as I would imagine the Christmas section of hell would look like if it had one. There are several rooms, and one catches my eye immediately. A red sign hangs above the doorway with dolls written in white calligraphy. I know if I was a little girl, this would be the first place I would go. It's filled with several life-size dolls, almost like store mannequins they used for kids' clothes. Boys and girls are on the walls and corners, all staring lifelessly with blank or frightened faces. Most have been painted to look like Christmas elves, but it looks like the ones in the back hadn't got done yet. Footsteps echoed through the area just outside of the room, causing me to panic. Instinctively, I made a sharp right towards the back of the store, bumping into a shelving unit. A crash behind me quells any hopes I had of keeping silent. I slowly turn around, not ready for what I'm about to find behind me. A doll had fallen in my hasty attempt to hide. I must have knocked him over when I banged into the shelf. A mix of dry plaster surrounds the broken pieces on the floor as they begin to ooze red liquid. Stammered screams bubble up through my throat and out of my lips. The footsteps in the hallway are now inside the room. A shadow figure comes closer to me as I grip my keys tightly. Tips through the knuckles. They look too small to be security and too plain clothes just to be police. Whoever this was wearing pants and a t-shirt. I'm ready to attack when I hear an all too familiar sob. "Allison?" I whisper. The figure charges toward me. I don't have any time to react as I'm enveloped into a tight squeeze. Carly, thank God, she whispered back breathlessly. She pulls her face away and presses her lips to mine. The kiss is firm but forgiving and most certainly welcomed. I was so scared, she said, pulling away and placing her head on my chest. What are you doing here? You said this was a bad idea. I thought you left me again. I regret the words the moment they come out of my mouth, even though they were the truth. I swore to myself I would never be vulnerable to her again, but seeing her here now is one of the biggest blessings of my life at the moment. Have you gone to the back? Thea and Dawn, they're back there. She screams once she sees the broken doll on the ground. Her entire arm shakes as she points to the pieces. No, oh my God, no, she wails through tears. What's wrong? I ask her, genuinely concerned. I'm not understanding why she's so upset. Those aren't dolls, Carly. They're kids, missing children, including ours. Her fists are clenched, nails dug into her palms, a tiny coping mechanism that she's always had. Look, I know you're upset, but that's not physically Why is that one bleeding then? The two in the back look just like Dawn and Thea. One even has Thea's birthmark on her left cheek. Her arm jerks frantically as she points to the shattered pieces on the ground. A flash of red consumes the entire area just before the lights go out. A chuckle booms throughout the doll room. Carly, you grab Thea and I'll get Dawn. I'm not leaving without them, even if they aren't technically them right now. These are the closest things we have to our daughters, and I want them safe with us until we can get this fixed. If there's a way to even do that, there's got to be a way to undo it, Allison instructs. We grab the statuesque figures and leave the doll room. The clatter of hoof reverberates off the enclosing walls. What the hell is that? I ask, quivering Allison. Her palms are almost bleeding at this point. The crescent-shaped indentations are a dark shade of purple. Before she has a chance to answer, an animal appears. The smell is almost unbearable. It looks like a reindeer that's been long dead. Patches of fur are missing, revealing rotted muscles and grayed bones. Its eyes are red and its antlers have been sharpened to points. A second one appears behind it, then a third. It sounds like more are behind them, too. We start to run as fast as we can while carrying the dolls. They are immensely heavy, but it's imperative that nothing happens to them. The reindeer chase us in a full circle. We find ourselves back in the doll room. Allison runs inside before I can stop her. I follow closely behind. The door to the doll room slams behind us, locking us inside in the dark and alone. Red Christmas lights blinked intermittently, revealing Santa's figure creeping closer to us from the doorway. So, I really hope you guys enjoyed part 3 and part 4. This story just gets crazier and crazier the more that comes out. I am enjoying it. I am super, super hooked. I hope you guys are too. If there is a part 5 that ends up coming out, I will make sure to get a part 5 recorded for you guys as soon as it comes out. But yeah, so I will link Colorblindness is the author, and I will link their page to both part 3 and part 4 in my description below. Like I said before, guys, please head over to their Reddit page and even just give their story a like. They're an awesome author, and these videos would definitely not be possible without their stories. So, but yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoy making these type of videos. Make sure you guys comment down below. Tell me what you think. Don't forget to like the video. And if you guys can, please share the videos out. It really helps to spread out my content and kind of helps get a few more people in here watching. So I would really, really appreciate it. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye.